Welcome. We've made it to another Wednesday. My name is AC and this is Dank RC's Wednesday workshop because it makes me get into the workshop on a Wednesday because I have not worked on any planes or anything pretty much since last week because of work and things like that. So today we're not even going to talk about the Flurkin, which is over there. Hasn't been flown since its maiden flight. I think we're going to work on the much neglected and much needed to be finished FPV combat planes. And backstory on that is that I am going to make 3 planes. Let me grab the components. And I think I've got to kind of reset myself here. Although I've done some videos on this, I probably should have watched those live streams over again to see where I was at. But I did mess with it a little bit, I think, on one of the recent Wednesday workshop live streams too. I should have a better memory. But basically, I'm building 3 planes. I have 3 plastic containers full of gear. 1 for each plane, of course. And I've gone over all the gear before, like I said in previous live streams, so I won't waste time doing that here. And I have misspoken many times about what I said I had done, apparently, because I said that I had finished all these wiring harnesses. Well, that's not exactly true. I couldn't find all of them, so I don't know if we're going to do that or not, but we're going to look at the firmware and look at the OSD and see what I need to do for like the iNav OSD to integrate just a few elements from iNav onto the screen that is also going to be manipulated. It's going to have 2 OSD overlays really, because it's going to have one from the flight controller and one from the FPV Combat board, I guess you would say, control board. Also, I plan on wiring 1 servo, just one side of the plane's 2 control surfaces through a servo lead on the FPV Combat, which what happens supposedly when you get hit, it will flutter the control surface. So, if you're not aware, I guess I'm not prepared to, I should bring up a FPV Combat window. Let me see if I can do that. I'll just quickly show what we're talking about. We're going to Desktop Center. There we go. And it's FPV Combat. I'm just going to search for that. And this is it. So this is what we've purchased. We've got 3 of these systems. I think they've already come out with a new version of it, maybe, since we bought these, which bad on me, you know, but it looks like a different color PCB. FPV Combat Special Effects Expansion Kit. Now this is the one we have right here. $50. Well, it says 50 euros. We paid $50 for ours. 50 USD. So this is what it comes with. It has the board, and it comes in this. Oh, I have some here. Of course, I can show it in real time. But anyway, that's what we got. That's what we're talking about. And these detectors, that thing there detects things, shots, you'd say, from this thing here. The gun, the IR gun, gets received by the IR receiver on another plane if you got a hit. Anyway, so that's what we're going to build. Or we have built. And we're building it onto a I didn't say I was going to do this all over again, but I'm doing it all over again. A 3D printed center fuselage pod that will then have some FT Aero wings attached to it. This pod is designed to fit the FT Aero wings on the side, of course, and there's holes for some spars that help it stick together. So the last part that I hadn't completed before was the, I should maybe switch to this camera here. Oh, I should switch back to this camera. The last part in which I hadn't completed before is, wow, okay, you're way over there, that's weird. Oh, and this hasn't been flipped, is it? Nope, it's backwards from the way. I'll fix that someday. I'll fix this camera view someday. But anyway, I have some 3D printed parts here for these to hold this. So I actually haven't tested those out yet. I just printed the prototypes in preparation for today, believe it or not. And we even have a camera view of that side of the workshop. So I'm going to try to find that. I changed it to, no. I took out one of these up here, I thought, in my shortcuts for the mouse, but let's see. Let me find it. Put it up here. Workshop side. Ah, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to go over to the other side and grab the 3D printed parts and turn on my workshop lights because I can't see over there. And we're back. So yes, I finally have a camera over there. How fancy is that? So if I ever go over there to cut my spars or go over there to file something off, I can switch the camera view and not just disappear into wherever. Okay, so what I'm going to try to do here is decide if this is going to fit. So the idea is that this, let me get all the rest of the bits out of here. Okay, that has got to be in place. I've got to be able to have that in place. And then this, actually it might have to go underneath it there. So that's going to get glued in like that. And then the VTX, I was thinking should go kind of like with the, get that wire out of the way over that direction. So I guess we were thinking because of this, it's got it, I was worried about it hitting over here. But it can go really, I can glue this down really anywhere around here. It's designed to go as far back as this. And that way, if I put it that far back, I'll be able to see the numbers and press the button and stuff. I think that's what we'll do. So we'll glue it down there. I think we should put that in so I can try it out. I didn't really think of how it's going to be attached here. It's just kind of like a support, I guess, and we'll cut a hole in the top when we put it in the top. And then I'll probably just spurt some hot glue down in that area right there. I'll put a blob of hot glue like right there. All right then. So I think we should see where we are at with this whole system here. I think I have to still solder the ESC to this. Yes, I do. So the question is how are we going to do that? Are we going to solder it directly to the motherboard, to the flight controller? I think we should. At least on mine, we'll solder it. Yeah. That way it can't be replaced easily then, can it? And this is like an old, oops, sorry. This is an old ESC. And that's what I'm using for all of them. Brake on, 30 amp, BL Heli. So I did at least document what I did to this. I think we should make some short little things for this to power it. So that's what we're going to do. We got to finish that. And then we will determine, we'll document that, and off stream I will make all the rest of them. Hopefully before next week. But here you can see the FPV Combat layout outside of the... It's also going to get a ring light, so you can see some of the components I'm going to be using here. That's the F411 WSC main flight controller board. This thing has a little bit of a... It's not flat. So we'll have to make sure we glue it down correctly in here. Okay, so let's hook this up to the computer. Let's see what firmware I have put on it, and I'm going to make some notes so that I don't lose track of where we are. So, yeah, let's do that. I'm going to power on the computer and plug in the HDMI cable so that we can actually see what's on the laptop, of course. Today's live stream almost didn't happen. I forgot to schedule it. And, oh, hi, Robert. A new project, you're flirking me around. So, yeah, we're working on the old project, the pre-flirkin project. Anyway, as I was saying, what was I saying? I'm going to move my mic. I don't think it's... Is it picking up? I should have looked at the volume. It's not pick. I noticed that this mic is not quite leveled where it should be. Maybe I got to crank it this way. And the EQ is really bad. I should play with it, like play with the low cut. I don't know if that helps or if that doesn't help. That's the low cut on. Oh yes, so anyway, it didn't happen because I forgot to schedule it. Then I was embarrassed, but then I scheduled it, and then I came down here and the computer was crashed. And then I rebooted it, which takes quite a long time because it's an old computer. And then I kept having problems with it after it booted. I couldn't get the USB hub that a lot of my things are hooked up to work. Actually, the USB hub was crashed itself. USB hubs they have microcontrollers, and I suppose just like anything else with running some kind of firmware, it can crash. So I monkeyed around with that for a while and couldn't get it to work almost, and I was like almost threw up my hands and went to this other computer that I have and said I was gonna cancel. I don't know. Anyway, it all worked out. Here we are. I'll try to have it together better next time. Work has been taking up a lot of time. And I did get some work done, though. It's over there off camera, but I suppose I could point the camera over there. I did new shelves over here. Not this shelf. That's not really going to be there much longer, that thing. But there's two shelves here. And they're not really, they're like not a shelf. They're just things that come out to hold airplanes. And then I continued the shelf up here. And so now I have room for all the carts further back. It's all like clean down there on the floor down there, like it hasn't been for a while. So yeah, I did some stuff in the workshop to make it better. It was starting to get a little out of hand. Oh, I didn't fire up this computer. I got to get this computer fired up properly. So what we'll do is we'll check the firmware, we'll look at the OSD, and we'll see what we need to do there, assuming we've got the firmware on 5.1, and I think I sort of did that on at the end of one of the streams, but now I'm questioning myself. I need to like keep notes of what I do. If I was better organized, I would keep like notes of what's going on. We'll get that camera ready to go. One of these days we'll get a camera for up here. So the camera here has been moved to the workshop side. Oh, we already turned that on. I already forgot. Okay, computer's booted. Bugs FPV. Hey, Omeo, what's up? So, 12-kilometer maiden with the orange wing Sunday. Really? Did you take some DVR of that, Robert? That is, how do you, okay. Doesn't that really make you nervous? That's hard. I don't know. I'm trying to, my plan is to take the Flurkin or the Arrow, but the Flurkin I think is going to be more efficient, so it'd be a better plane to try my first iNav mission on, like a waypoint mission. And the total distance is going to be like the farthest point from where I will be as the crow flies is only going to be like maybe 3 kilometers. I'm going to say somewhere between 2 and 5 kilometers away, because I didn't measure it, but I'm going to guess somewhere between 2 and 5 kilometers. And basically what I'm doing is what I want to do is where there's this park. Oh, I can show you on the screen. Yeah. 1.3 video on Dragon Link. I don't record my flights. Oh, boo. So 1.3 video, that gives you more range on Dragon Link. It's your Dragon Link is your flight controller, or is that the video system? I'm ignorant there. Sorry. Okay. Let's plug this in. I think Dragon Link, okay, that's like the transmitter, right? That's the control link. Okay. Oh, no, that's the video I don't know, what is it? Good for 60 miles. Is it 915 megahertz? Does that Dragon Link go on that? Or does everything go on the 1.3? Oh man, I feel so ignorant. And I've watched so many videos of Bonafide Pirates where he's flown that. Doesn't he fly that Dragon Link stuff, or used to all the time? Who else does that? Matt Ogborn. Doesn't he fly that stuff too? Didn't he? In the olden days before iNav? 1.3 is the video. Okay, yeah. Dragon Link is like the control link and flight control everything. So you have a Dragon Link module on your transmitter, and you have the Dragon Link receiver and flight controller and sensors in the plane. Right? Okay. Andrew Burton, it is the best of the best. Andrew Burton. Oh, see, haven't heard of him. You're going to teach me a new YouTuber. I'm assuming a YouTuber. Somebody, at least that has the stuff on the internets, I guess. That would be somewhere on YouTube or somewhere else. Okay, what are we doing? We're going to plug in the flight controller. Plugging in the flight controller. So we'll go to this camera. Here we go. Oh, no, we got to press that button. We're going to press it this way. We have some sound, and then we can go to the laptop. Let's see what version we've got on here, shall we? We have obviously 5.1 because otherwise it would have complained and gone to the CLI, correct? So let's do version 5.1 Maytech 411 WSE. So let's go through and see what we've done here. Setup. We're going to reboot. So let me read what you've written here. It's the best of the best. That's Matt's buddy. Oh yeah, and right, Andy. Okay. I know who you're talking about. And my flight controller is Eagle Tree Vector. Oh, right. Okay. So Dragon Link is the control link. Then you've got the fancy Eagle Tree Vector with that, and that's what has the sensors. The Eagle Tree Vector system has its own sensors that you get with it, right? Like the current sensor power module deal and the airspeed sensor and the GPS module. Probably does it have a compass? Does Dragon Link use? I mean, does Eagle Tree use a compass? I don't remember. Yes. Okay. Well, that's some. I don't think none of those things are being produced anymore, are they? So I hope you have lots of good hardware, because that stuff is expensive and seems pretty awesome. And sad times that it's not been. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's still being produced. You're like telling me he's probably shaking his head. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I know, Robert. I'm sorry. I don't know. I know very little. But I enjoy everything. I enjoy it a lot. Okay, we're plugged in. We're going to look at the... Oh, whoops. Here, let's go back to this. Setup. So it looks like we've done the calibration. Although we are off by 1.7 degrees. Even when we have it flat on the table. I wonder if this table is off. Holy smokes. Could this table could be off by 1.7 degrees. If you see if I rotate it, I don't know. I better check that. But not today. Don't worry, not today. We'll leave that alone for today. And we'll look at the mixer and make sure that we've got all of our mixing set up, that I did that. We did. Enable motor and servo output, yes. And we're on the... Oh, I put on BL Heli 1.4. Is that a thing? BL Heli. No, that's just... What can BL Heli do? It depends on the on the ESC that it's on, doesn't it? That I should know more about too. I bet you I can at least do one shot 125. What do you think? I don't know. It seems like standard is the worst. That's the one I always use though. Okay, motor idle power 5%. Number of motor pulls, I think it's 14 on these motors. No reversible motor. Okay, so we don't need to save anything. We did not change anything on this screen. I need a mute button. I'm going to have to clear my throat really bad. Has to be your table. You're probably right, Robert. I think it is, because now that's the second time this has happened. And then I went and screwed with the the setting. No, okay. I'm an idiot sometimes. Okay, let's check our ports. GPS and UART1. I believe that's correct. I keep wanting to go over here because on my other computer I always have like all the Maytech drawings and stuff, but I think we can easily get to those if we needed to. But I'm pretty sure GPS is on UART1, and I don't have the GPS wired up yet. And that UART2 is the serial, and that soft serial 2 is the smart port telemetry, and soft serial 1 is TBS smart audio. I'm pretty sure those are all correct. So I've definitely came in and messed with the ports, or just made sure they were correct. And this is from the firmware target, the current meter scale, PU6000. That's all good. That's all good. That's all good. Race band 3, power level 4. That's my channel. So this number 1 plane, the one that I'm going to make all the worst mistakes on, is going to be mine. And then the next 2 will be Andy's and Kevin's, because I won't make so many mistakes. I'll learn from the mistakes, hopefully. Anyway, I'll get the worst plane. Whichever plane is the worst, although one of them is going to have my free FR Sky R9, and the other 2 are going to have Crossfire. So I guess I get the one with R9 no matter what. Okay, permanently enable air mode, launch mode, yes. Profile selection, yes. Enable motor and servo output again, yes. Color RGB, yes. We're going to set up some lights, of course. I always put on lights. Telemetry, yes. GPS, yes. Servo or serial CPU, serial ports, yes. Yes, yes. I'm still afraid of this continuously trimmed servos on fixed wing. Somebody, after the thing that happened to Kevin's plane, I don't know, maybe, and the only thing I can explain, if it wasn't that, it was his radio was trimmed wrong, and it forced, I don't know, something happened where continuously trimmed servos made his plane go off kilter to the side more and more as the longer he flew. That's what it seemed like. And when I turned it off, that didn't happen anymore. Okay, I haven't changed anything here, so no reason to save and reboot. Everything's set up. The only thing I bet you that isn't set up, failsafe, return to home. I better make sure I've got no pulses set up on the model when I do that. PID tuning, okay, that's the thing that's not going to be set up. Return to home, and yeah, just return to home. Okay, PID tuning. Okay. Yeah, okay, so it has to be my table. An 1/8 inch over 1 foot is 1.04 degrees. Oh man, that is serious. It's got to be. You're right. I'm going to level this table. Darren said activate it. Had to be his trim. I know Darren said activated. Yeah, and I know. And Mark Hoffman says activated too. Okay, mechanics. Fixed wing level trim. I think I usually do 3 or 4 degrees on the arrow. We'll go for 4. I'll have to check my other one. Save that. Oh, it's starting to rain outside. Okay, I'm going to up the feed forward just a bit to 60. On the roll and the pitch, I'm going to bump it to 80. And I'm not going to bump the P. I'm not going to touch the PIDs. I'm just going to bump the feed forward just that little bit. And then the rates, this thing I did with the rates, I'm going to stick with that just because I know the arrow pretty well. And I think that I'm going to do the auto trim, but I'm going to start it out with that so it's not all mushy. Because I hate it when it's mushy. Oh, it froze last night. Well, okay, so you're going through the same thing that we did. Well, not this quite, because we're not in northern Canada, of course, but it was 101 degrees yesterday, and it's like 65 outside right now and raining. And the temperature today was just like, it was like 80 something when I went to work. In the morning at like 7:30, it was 80 degrees. And now it's like cold outside. And yeah, so that cold front has swept down. Let me do the weather map. Swept down from northern Alberta. Anyway, where were we? So yeah, thank goodness the 100-degree weather is gone, right? And you guys were in the 90s and high 80s too for a while, so I know that's like insane. Okay, we're not doing anything to advanced tuning except waiting for data. Waiting for data, waiting for data, waiting. Oh, there it is. Waiting for data. Oh, auto launch settings. Haha, yes. We are doing advanced tuning. Okay, so auto launch settings. Idle throttle is going to be like 13. And then I can't remember all my other settings. Launch throttle, let's bump it up to 18 for this. Launch timeout is going to be 15,000. The motor delay is going to be 50, not 500. Motor spin up time, that seems okay. Climb angle is going to be 22. No maximum altitude. Take it to the limit. And we're going to go for, we'll try 1400 for the cruise throttle, although this heavy brick, this flying brick, really needs a little bit more. Let's make it 1450. And then I'll have to, I'm going to copy all these settings over to the other planes, so I got to get them right. Min, max, max we're going to say 1800 on the navigation throttle in case it really needs to blast out. Loiter direction right, control smoothness. I want to understand the control smoothness. Higher. It says how smoothly the autopilot controls the plane. 0 to 9. Which one is more, which one is less? What does that mean? Does it? I wish I had more details. I guess if I read the code or something. So 0 to 9. Let's leave it at 2 for now, until I know what it is. Okay, all these other things. Oh, here, return to, let's make the return to home altitude at least 60 meters. RTH home altitude, okay. Climb before RTH, I guess so. Climb regardless of position sensor's health. I don't know how it does that. Override RTH altitude and climb setting with roll pitch stick. Should I turn that on? That might be a good idea. Bank angle 65. Where was that? That was on the, up here. Where's the bank angle? 65, it's at 45. Yeah, I think you're right. We should bump it up. This thing can definitely do 65, no problem, especially with the throttle settings I've got. Good call. I'll put it at 65. I'll take your 65. I'll call. Land after RTH, failsafe only. That's exactly what I want. Minimum RTH distance. This one, if UAV is within this distance from home point, it will land instead of RTH and then land. So if it's within 500 centimeters or 50 meters. No, 5 meters. 5 meters. RTH abort is 50,000 centimeters, which is 500 meters? God, I wish that they'd have the fucking thing in meters. Excuse me. Excuse my French, but... Abort sanity... Okay. Default is 500 meters. Okay. 50,000 centimeters. Safe enough for both. What's the amount of increase? Oh, so if it goes 500 meters further away, it aborts because it's going the wrong way. Oh, okay. I'm dumb. Why couldn't I get that? That's fine. Yep. Bank angle 65. We're doing it. Okay. Emergency landing speed. Yeah. All these things, automatic landing settings. I don't think it's just a controlled crash, really. It's not like, I mean, I think ArduPilot. How about that? How's that landing on Eagle Tree? Does Eagle Tree do an auto land? It does, doesn't it? I think Eagle Tree does an auto land. Excuse me. I need a mute button so I can drink my swallow my liquids. Okay, we're saving and rebooting. Yes, but I don't. Well, I can understand why you wouldn't. And definitely understand why you wouldn't. That it's awesome though that it has that, like, it's like we have auto land. I'm like just blown away by auto launch. Auto land. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be using it either, I guess, but it's sort of a nice thing to know that it can do, mostly. Okay. Now, one thing I want to go on a tangent. I always go on a tangent. Today's tangent, and it's not a rant at all, it's just a tangent, is that I am trying to, like, I'm immersing myself in my spare seconds into the iNav fixed wing group. I've got the swag on today. The iNav fixed wing group's Pro OpenTX model for iNav, which of course is not just OpenTX, but you have to have settings in iNav too. So, excuse me one sec. Tree's so easy to set up. 10 minutes max on a plane. Really? So I haven't really I guess I've watched people's videos that do the Eagle Tree setup, like I think Bonafide Pirate has gone through it. I swear he has. In older videos. We're talking years ago. That's when I used to see those stuff more often than today. Anyway, what was my tangent about? My tangent is I'm digging into the OpenTX Pro iNav model from the iNav Fixed Wing Group. The Facebook iNav Fixed Wing Group, although they don't have that part in there, which is kind of cool because I'm not really into Facebook all that much these days. but I do like the group. Thank you. And I think their webpage is a great resource, and that model is a great resource. And what I'm trying to do is, I don't want the whole model, unfortunately. I mean, there's part of my brain that's processing the idea of switching over and making everything, just switching over to that model and learning it, like all the switches, switching and switches. But there's part of me that also just wants to take the tuning bits, the parts that you can manually tune and put, because I've already got the OSD set up. That's the easy part. And basically it's a bunch of adjustments in the adjustments tab, which is here. There's like a zillion of them, but I don't even want to take all the zillion of them. I just want to take the ones that do the basics. So I want to be able to bump up the PIDs in the feed forward, and maybe one or two other things that I can't even think of right now. The level trim or something, I think you can even adjust that. There's a couple things besides the PIDs I was thinking I might want to adjust in flight. But those are the things I want to be able to do. The in-flight adjustment section. That's what this is. And that's what this is. So I need to figure that out. And so I've taken a little bit of time, not much, like I said, spare minutes here and there, and taken a look at the model. I've downloaded the model into my OpenTX companion and messed with it and looked at how it works, and then looked at the iNav. They don't really have an iNav thing to plug in. Well, maybe they do have some CLI stuff to plug in, but some of it is just like you got to look at the screenshot and fill it in here, I think. And so I don't know what to do, but that's my tangent. I'm digging into that, and I've never tuned a plane, never tuned a plane, never tuned all the iNav planes. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, just 4, 4 iNav planes. 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5. I thought I was short one. I have 5 iNav planes, and none of them have been tuned, and there are various different kinds. And but now that I have iNav 5.1, and I think the reason that some of the older, I don't know, I don't think the earlier versions of iNav were as highly refined as maybe these newer versions are. So tuning was less important back then, just to guess. So you have it on one wing and changed half of it. See, that's kind of where I'm at, is that there's half of it I just kind of either want to throw out or not want to use, or I'm used to different switches, and I'm worried that if I did it their way, I'd crash my plane, or I don't know. I'm just so used to the way that my switches work, especially for arming and return to home and flaps. I have one plane with flaps. There's just stuff, and the pan tilt that I have set up, and the way that my channel mapping is. So I don't want to mess with all that or redo it all for all my planes. You're right. And so I guess, and throwing away, hey, Paul. Oh, this flight controller, Paul, that I have plugged in and not even paying attention to here is the F411WSE. It's oops, not the right camera view. It's kind of it's an end-of-life flight controller, so you can't even get it, but I have a zillion of them. And then this other part here is the FPV Combat board, which is supposed to be what I'm working on here, and I'm standing here babbling. So yeah, where am I? We're at the computer now, so let's get back here. So, and thanks for watching, Paul. Welcome. So yeah, this is a Maytech F411 WSE, and I used it on a lot of my planes because of its size. But there are some, and I kind of like it, but I don't like it. Oh, but that reminds me, another tangent. Since we're talking flight controllers, I'm sorry. I know I could do this. We're gonna go to a website and look for the newest Maytech, the Maytech ATEK. What is it called? Oh no, wrong button. It's called the Maytech F405 WMN. Okay, this is what I want. This is what I want to do now. I want to get some of these because the Nano board, the Racer Star Nano is gone, right? Can't get that, and it's not very pleasing. My first iteration of it in the Flurkin, so this is what I want to get. And do they still do the pins crappy like they did on the one on the F411? Let's take a look. I think they did, but I think they improved it a little bit. Okay, that's not a very good view. Here, this view. So see these pins right here. I don't know if you can see what I'm pointing at, but those pins are going to be the hardest pins to solder. Right there. They're not as bad as the ones on the F411 WSE, but they're almost as they're not great. Like, why couldn't they do like something like down here? Why couldn't they do that for this part up here? These 4 pins. I don't understand. I just don't understand. But beyond that, okay, so let's look at this board. This is what I'm talking about. This is going to be what I want to replace. Notice what it used to pay for F411 WSE, 60 or it used to be $30 to $35. I've paid as little as $27 for one because I have about 6 of them, 6 or 7 of them. I still have a pile of them over there, so I must have more than that. Now it's almost 70 bucks. So you've been using the WSE or this new one? Anyway, so it's basically the same as a F411 WSE, except that the form factor is a little bit bigger, and it has more UARTs, way more UARTs, 5 UARTs. It has way more PWM outputs. It has even more PWM outputs than the bigger Maytech F405 board, which is crazy. It has a camera switcher. It has a camera switcher. The other 405s don't have camera switchers. It has a SD card. I believe it has an SD card. Where's that? Or it has at least a black box like RAM or something. It's got something. Oh, 16 megabytes flash. So, yeah, these are all better. It's better in every single way. Every single way. USB-C cable with the with the new Maytech beep USB beeper extender. I know that beeper, I've heard it's crap. But besides that, you could always solder in new wires for the beeper if you needed it. So it's got that thing there with the boot button. So yeah, I'm when I get money, that's what I'm going to be buying for my future builds at this board here. Okay, so that was a good tangent. Let's get back to this, the old style board, the old style setup for our FPV Combat Wings. So let me just say that I basically started building this. It's probably been a year. That's embarrassing, but it's been a year. That's when Kevin and Andy and I probably bought all this stuff. Maybe it's even been more than that. If it has, I owe them the hugest apology. Okay, so here let's get back to our plan here. So tangent over. Let's just work our way down. Oh, one more tangent. So sorry. I'm going to show you the distance, the mission. You said you went 13 kilometers. I'm going We're zooming in to the beautiful environs of, I don't care if you know where I am. Everybody can figure out where I am if they really wanted to. It doesn't really matter. Here we go. We're zooming in. So, the park. Where's the park? Zoom in. Oh, there it is. Okay. There it is. So, I should have gone to mission control instead of this, but okay. Yeah, let's go to mission control. Sorry, now we're going to have to do the whole thing over again. Shit. Mission control. Doot. Oh, we're not on the right screen. Ah! Sorry. Now we're on the right screen. Okay. So here we go. We're zooming in. We're finding our spot. We're finding it. Here we go. There's our park. There's our little park right there, and our little bend in the river. Okay. So, right here, well, what do we do? How do we do this? Do we just plump on there? Plank, waypoint 1. Let's just pretend. Waypoint 1, that's where that's the launch spot. Let's take that waypoint. This is the farthest distance I'm going to be flying. So my idea is to do waypoints like around this. Doink, 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 like that. Stay on this side of the river because I'm chicken shit. Okay, so that's what I was thinking of doing. And then and then I was going to do some elevation changes and stuff like that. Something like that. Thanks. Yeah, I figured out the camera. I'm glad I need your help, Robert. You should be my, I wish I could give you control of the cameras. Okay. So that's what I'm thinking of doing. And as a mission with the Florkin. The Florkin is the first. But then I'm getting even more chicken shit. And then I'm thinking what I should probably do is go down over this road. And delete that. Delete. Oh, I deleted all of them. Crap. Okay, so let's just say waypoint 1 is right here. I'll launch it from right there, and waypoint 1 will be there. And waypoint 2. Does it tell us the distance? Anyway, go out about that far, because there's like a road at least that if I don't know, I'm so chicken, and then fly back. But then again, if I did the whole, do you want to delete all points? Sure. If I did it around here, I would definitely cut off. I'm not even too chicken to go out this far. Now, like when I fly my arrow, I'll tell you the furthest I've flown, let's delete all these again, we're usually, like I say, launch from right here. That's where the little canopy thing is. And there's like a farm field here, and there's a farm field here. I have flown out past these power wires to about here. And then in this direction, I have flown just to this tree line, like here. And then I hardly ever fly over this river, but I have flown right maybe to where that waypoint is. But I usually stay on this side of the river over here. That's how chicken I am. Do you know the max number of waypoints? No, I don't, but I think that it's a lot. Probably more than I think that would be more limited by the space in which the flight controller is storing the data for the waypoints. And that would be something I don't know enough about. But anyway, I have made a few missions that I wanted to load on here that, like I said, around this little kind of area where the river, this like peninsula out here, or whatever this would be called. It would be more scenic if I flew along the river like over here. But anyway, That's not going to be for this FPV combat plane, so why are we wasting all this time? I am so sorry. Okay, the OSD, that's the thing that we were going to get at. So I think what we need to do, I think we have really... Oh, what is the available points? Tell me then. I'd like to know. It's probably in the wiki, right? Everything is in the wiki. Okay, so what have I done? I've put these over here, system message mode. So let us, I'm going to accept that as a good way to keep it for now. And we need to power this thing up. How did I power it up before? Oh, we can power it up. Okay. Let's switch back to this view. We can power this puppy up. Let's get all the junk that we don't need. We have the VTX. We have, this needs to be, let me change my glasses. Let's disconnect. We're going to disconnect from the flight controller. And we're going to unplug it. Then we'll switch back over to here. And we will see where we plug in the camera view here. Let's plug in our camera. We have a camera. And we have a wire here to go to the camera. So, how this is going to work. How does this work? This camera goes to the VTX out of the flight controller. So we're going to go VTX out. Sorry, I'm going to have to go this way so I can see where in the heck it is. I believe it is that one. VTX out. I'm going to look at we're going to switch back to this screen here. And we're going to pull up the diagram for there it is right there. End of life. Oh, these idiots took the diagrams away, didn't they? I love Maytech, believe me, I do. But, oh, no, did they take them? Did they put them back? Please tell me they put them back. Oh, good. There we go. VTX and ground. Okay, so that is these pins right here. So we're going to plug the camera out of the FPV Combat board to the VTX in of the flight controller, and we're going to plug the camera into camera 1 of the flight controller. I don't even think, I hope this is a good plan. Okay, so the FPV Combat board's getting power from the flight controller. The VTX will get power from the FPV Combat board. All we have to do now is plug in the soft serial port to control the VTX. So even though the VTX gets plugged into the flight controller, FPV Combat board, the soft serial is going to get plugged into, from the soft serial smart audio wire is going to go to the flight controller board. I hope that makes sense. And to be complete, we might as well plug in the IR sensor, and it's minus pin, ground pin on the bottom. Ground pin on the bottom. Man, I am so blind. Oh my God, you guys. Ground pin on the bottom, green pin on the top. So we got the IR sensor. We'll plug in the trigger, or the gun. The gun goes down there. Plus is going to be I don't think it matters. I don't think polarity matters. But we'll say pluses on top. How about that? So all the FPV Combat goodies are plugged in. Oh, we're going to have to program a trigger button. Oh, yeah. So, we're going to have a PWM pass-through. That must be this trigger. So I've programmed trigger into, let's switch back to here, into, where is that? S, that doesn't seem right. That just doesn't seem right. S3 and S4. I don't remember wiring my flight controllers that way, but okay. Oh! No. I'm confused about what I've done here. Oh, one is the trigger. So I'm saying S3 is the trigger. Uh-oh. I better go to the mixer and fix that. And I've got S5 going to... Sorry. Yeah, I've got these mixed up. It's not going to matter for today's demonstration, but I got those mixed up. Okay, we're going to plug in a battery. Smoke stopper. $120. 120. Wow. Okay, well, I'm never going to do one with 120. And Paul, if you're going to do one with 120, I want to hear about it. Okay, we're going to plug in the battery. So let's get the VTX on. I think we're back. VTX. My screen says nobody's watching, so bye everybody. I guess you've all left, but that's okay. We'll still keep working. We're all good. Let me make sure that I've got VTX on the... I do. Okay, let's see if the VTX is going to work. Yep. Okay, so we're going to see the VTX when we power on. So let's switch over to VTX screen. And yeah, I left the camera on again, didn't I? I'm very bad at that. So we're back to the VTX screen. Right? Yes, we are. We're going to plug it in, folks. Here we go. Ready or not, here we come. I got the smoke. This is what I'm doing. I've got everything ready. We're going to plug it in, but we'll turn it to the VTX. Stand by. Oh, flip it over. What did we get? I can't see. Remote control setup. Press button. Press again to save. Well, we certainly got some interaction between the two. We got both VTX or both overlays on the screen, don't we? So, yeah. So we're going to have to move the warnings up. But I guess I don't know yet. Remote controller setup. Okay, so we're making progress here. Now I got to unplug this. Okay. I'm like surprised everything's worked this good so far. Like nothing bad happened. So, and did we have a camera? Let's look and see. I can't remember if there was a camera view or if it was just black. I think it was just black, wasn't it? Let's see. Let's change screens. So it's just black. Okay. Oh, careful. Unplug this. Now, let's plug camera into camera 2. Let's switch to this camera. Camera. Switch to camera to see if the camera works on the camera. Okay, let's switch to camera 2. Gosh, I'm assuming I had it plugged into camera 1. Maybe I had it plugged into camera 2. Oh, I did have it plugged into camera 2. My bad. Okay, we're going to go back to the VTX screen. It kills the stream. VTX and live camera 5.8. It kills the stream. It's back. Oh! And on the, it still says the stream is gone. On my section. Oh my gosh. Now that's something I'm going to have to fix, isn't it? I'm thinking, sorry. Thinking silently. I don't even know if I'm going out to the world, but that's okay. Right now it says the stream's current bit rate is lower. Yeah. Okay, that's the part. I also skipped that part at the beginning when I was talking about almost not having the stream, as the stream kept glitching. It kept glitching when I was getting ready. So that might not have anything to do with the I don't think it has anything to do with this 5.8. This 5.8 does kill the Wi-Fi on my MacBook back here, but okay. What are we going to do? We're going to test the camera. Sorry, testing the camera. Okay, so we're going to plug this mess back in. It's a mess, though. Let's get some of the extra crap out of the way. Put this over here. Okay, let's go back to the VTX. What number is VTX? 8. Okay, going live. In 3, 2, 1. And we have a camera. Oh, we sort of have a camera. Oh, and we don't have the menu thing anymore for setup. That's interesting. What do you think that's all about? Oh, and there's no OSD for the iNav. Oh, oh dear. Okay, so that's problematic. Okay, so let's see what we're going to do here. I think the next step is to get a receiver connected to this thing. Let's do that. Let's check the time to make sure how much time I've wasted. Okay, so we're going to check the receiver. Now you did see a menu at the beginning, right? Yeah. So let's see. Maybe I'm going to be in bad, sad times if I want to combine this with a flight controller. But I did swear I saw both things overlaid at the same time before, so I'm not going crazy. Okay, oh my God, don't tell me I don't have a receiver. Well, we're going to get to use the workshop cam. Because, oh, and then we got to wire this up too. We got to wire these up. That's the 433 radio HUD that talks to each other so that it points to where the other, it's kind of like iNav radar, I think, or something. Crap. Okay, sorry, we're going to the workshop cam. Oh dear. I don't know, is that 5? Let's see, 5. Nope. 6? Nope, that's end cam. 7? Nope. It's not any number. It's not a number. It's not a number. We're going to workbench side S. There we go. See you on the other side. I'll be right back. We're back with the work from the workshop view, huh? Okay, so we can take this and plug it directly into our receiver, I think. Except somehow I've gotten this tangled. Okay, so that goes. Let me just double check where it goes. We'll go back here and we'll look at our drawings. So this one right here. But it might be the other way. There's a couple ways to wire that. And the right way is to go 4V5 ground S bus TX2. So that is on. Let's go to our thing here. And where is it compared to the USB port? Okay. Ground 4V5. Which way is it? Ground 4V5 S bus. Okay, I hope it's this way. I hope I did it right. So we have RSSI on the end. Okay. So we leave one pin at the end of the F411. And then we have to look at the R9 Mini because I can't remember. Oh, we have a manual right in here. Dingbat, where is it? I just pulled it out. So let's look at this. So we have ground 4V5, which means powered by USB port, 4.5 volts. Blue is S bus, and white is TX2, which will be smart port. So let's please be that way. Yes, that's correct. That is the correct wiring. So we're going with that. So that means when we power this up, we can have a radio. So now I need to think. I didn't plan this out properly. Now what are we going to do? We're going to just plug it in. I haven't programmed a trigger. So what I want to do now is look at the mixer because I think I've hooked up these connection wires wrong to the PWM, RC PWM connections on the FPV Combat board, which is insane because I should have gotten that right from the very beginning. So let's switch to this picture right here first. Oh, sorry. Two, then that. Switch to this. Oops. And then, okay, so here's our servos. Gosh, that looks like not like the right. I'm going to look at my FT arrow. Sorry. I'm going to look at my FT arrow. Just for a second. Here, we'll put this up here. And we'll switch to this camera view. Okay, the servos are both on the same side, 3 and 4. So 5 and 6 are on the right, 5 and 6. So 3 what that means is going back to here, 3 is going to trigger, and that's wrong. That's backwards. 3 needs to go to this in, and this in needs to go to trigger. The reason for that is it's going to be PWM output 5. These USB ports are scary. These have to be switched. That one goes there. Servo 3 and ground on the inside. And then this one goes here. So the reason I'm doing that is because the trigger is going to be servo 5 pass through. So now we have to set that up. So we need to set up the servo 5 pass through, and we need to set up the trigger in the radio. So this radio here is what I call Tyrannus 2, and it's going to be the one that I migrate my stuff over to. And the question is do I have the battery plugged in? Yes, I do, which is probably bad. So it's back. You're on. That a quad board. Which quad board? No, I don't have a quad board. It's a WSC wing special edition or whatever that is. Okay. Here we have our radio.
Welcome to OpenTX. Switch warning.
Okay.
Manual mode. Why, thank you.
Okay, so manual mode.
Loiter mode.
We're going to see if it's bound to... Oh, we didn't do the modes on our iNav config. Probably. Listen to that buzzing. Holy smokes. Okay. This is going to be the trigger. So I've got to fix whatever that is. So let's go to menu. And oh, how are we going to do this? We're going to, it's going to be upside down. I have no setup to do this. This is stuff I should be doing off stream, shouldn't it? Shouldn't I? Oh my gosh, I'm making a huge mess. Okay. So what do we have here? What switch is that? SH. See how many channels I'm already using? I wonder what channel 11 is for. Oh, that's for pan. Channel 10 is the camera switcher. Okay, so we're going to have to go with channel 12. So first of all, we'll have to get rid of the, let's just do it, channel 12, enter. And we'll enter trigger. TRG, we'll call it TRG. Oh, the minus button works. How about that? TRG. Source.
0 amps.
SH. Okay, enter. Okay, so now we're going to exit this. Then we're going to go to the special functions page. And we're going to turn off the one that does the 0 amps. So the SH switch is going to be way down here. And let's just play track, nothing. We'll figure it out later. Okay, that's just beep. There we go. And then we'll just have it. Okay, let's do that for now. Oh, nope. Play beep, enter, down, down, enter. 1 second, 2 seconds. Not one time. Does that mean? No. I guess I can't have it play continuously. Can I? No, just every 1 second. Okay, let's leave it at that, just for now. Okay, so now we've programmed a trigger. Now we have to do it on the iNav side. 100 megahertz always whines. Does it always on everybody's radio? Oh man, I'm thinking of getting like a T16S or something. Does it buzz on those too? I should ask. Well, they have Crossfire, my friends. It doesn't seem to buzz on theirs. Okay. I'm running out of room on my workbench. It's getting messy. So where are we? We're here. Let's go to the camera. No, let's go to this camera. Get that one queued up. And trigger. iNav. Let's get iNav going. Okay, so we're going to plug in the flight controller. We can switch to this one and plug in the flight controller. And then we're going to plug in iNav. The professor. That's number 2. Here we go. And let us see if we can do this pass-through thing. Remember that thing I couldn't do on the Flurkin? Let's check the modes too. We don't have any modes set up. So I definitely need my iNav modes listing. That's bad. But let me not have modes, but go to the outputs. And let us do number 5, because we got to go in order. We can't add number 6 without adding a number 5, because the mixer will not let me. Oh, wait a minute. The mixer. I'm in the wrong one. The mixer tab will not let me add servo 6 without adding servo 5 first. So it's a good thing that this is servo 5 that I have it plugged into. Okay. So we're going to, that is an irritation, I'm going to tell you. No end. No end of irritation. Servo 5, and we're going to say pass through channel 12. Wait 100%. Always. Save and reboot. Now we should be able to see if channel 12 works, because we're going to run out of ammo, I think, or something. I don't know. I don't know much about the FPV combat system, clearly. Okay, so we don't need this part anymore. We'll go back to me for a second. We'll unplug this. So what we're going to do now is see if, oh, we should have left it.
Lost.
Oh, telemetry lost. That's a good sign. Let's plug it back in and check the receiver. I didn't do that.
Telemetry recovered.
So back to the computer screen. Yeah, modes. Take it off the Flurkin CLI tab. Yes. Oh, the CLI dump that I did. God, Robert, you're smart. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Now, let's check the receiver since we're here. Receiver. Oh, it looks like we've got some movement. We've got roll. We've got pitch. We have yaw, which we don't use. We have throttle. Throttle, the endpoints need to be adjusted. Now let's check channel 12. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, 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 bam. Okay. The pan tilt, still there. Camera switcher.
Why, thank you.
And the
Return
modes
to launch.
switches
Taco
are
mode.
still
Loiter
all,
mode. Manual mode.
everything there is working. Now, this one I'm going to have to program auto trim like I did. So I got to make sure I do that too, like I did with the Flurkin. So I need to definitely copy the modes from the Flurkin would be the best idea. Thanks again, Robert. So we'll do the center endpoints and all that, but let's check the trigger. So let's go to the VTX screen. Hey, maybe it has to do with something whether okay. We're going to unplug, we're going to disconnect. We're not going to have it plugged into the computer when we plug in to see if the FPV Combat Board trigger is working. So we're going to unplug this. Then we're going to go here to me, and then we're going to make sure once again it looks like we have everything good. The receiver was good. We are happy with that. It's nice to have a bound receiver just sitting in your drawer. That is a learning lesson for me right now, because that is just a great thing to have, just sitting there. Oh, we didn't switch to the VTX.
Telemetry recovered.
Sorry. Okay, so we have, here we go. Press button, menu. Press button, menu. Where's the button? Oh, where's the button? Where's the button? Where's the button? There's a button on here. I swear there is. No, do we press the trigger button? No. I swear there was a button on this thing. I don't see it. Okay, so this is where we're going to have to learn to read some directions. This is it. This is probably going to be, oh, we've got a half an hour left. What should I do? I'm going to have to read the directions on stream. Caroline will definitely be truthful in saying that's like watching grass grow. Yeah, I don't see the button. I swear there was a button now. Okay, let me read the screen again. It says, remote controller setup, press button menu, press again to save. Press button. Yeah, maybe I need to program another button. Maybe I need to not have this go past 2000. Let's do the endpoints on the transmitter here. I think I went past it. I did. I know I could go backwards, but I'm not going backwards. Okay, here's the endpoints. Yeah, I'm just going to do it like this. Stand here and wave. Okay, channel 12. Let's go all... Oh, it's so nice having a down button. Channel 12. Okay, so 2012. So let's go channel 12. Enter. Down. Okay, so let's go. Is that the right one? Yeah, we're going to make that to 1000. The bottom end. And then we'll go up to the top. Oops. The top end point. And got to hold this at the same time. And take it down to 2000. Did that recognize a button push? No. But it definitely goes from 1000 to 2000 now. Okay. Now what we're going to do is put a servo into that servo pass-through and see if that works, because I don't trust it now that I'm doing the right thing. So that's what we'll do next. So we're going to power it down because I don't want to plug things in while we got things powered up. Okay, that battery connection on this smoke saver is very serious. Okay, so let's get a servo. And we're going to plug a servo into channel 5. Channel 5. I'm going to break that USB port one of these days. Channel 5. Okay. Should put something on the servo, but let's just plug it in. Servo moved.
Telemetry recovered.
Servo moved. Oh yeah. Servo's moving. Trigger works. The trigger works. The pass-through works perfectly. I spent 2 seconds setting it up instead of 2 hours failing to set it up like I did on the Flurkin. So that is definitely a problem with the target pin mappings on the Nano target, because it doesn't have its own target now, does it? Something must be amiss there. Once again, we're going to unplug the, I'm moving the camera around. Okay. And unplug the servo. Can't see.
Telemetry lost.
So now it means that, what does that mean? I have to actually read the documentation. And I have to read the documentation for the FPV Combat Board. Let's closely inspect it again to make sure I'm not missing a button on the board itself. Okay. So, this is what we're going to do. I'm sorry, folks, but I can't go any further until I read the documentation. So we're going to just turn off some of this stuff. We're going to go back to the laptop screen and grass will grow. I guess I could solder up these things. We'll look at the documentation for that too. This, switch to this scene here. This, these little radios here. The camera's upside down. These little radios here. Oh, the camera's, oh my gosh, the camera's backwards. Right? Oh my gosh, I gotta fix that. That's right side up. Okay. Yeah, these are what I'm getting, putting in the planes. And according to the FPV Combat page, which we're going to go to. Oh my gosh, it's raining outside. Rain. FPVcombat.com. FPV, let's just search for it. FPV. Take us right there. Google's excellent watching of all of us. Okay, come on, FPV Combat. That's the oh. Okay, documentation and downloads. Documentation and downloads. Okay, FPV Combat User Guide. I think this is what our thing is. 1.2, isn't that what I have? Let me see. Let's see what it looks like, folks. Did I download it? Huh? Download. May 7th. Yeah, May 7th, 2021. Oh, come on. Standard version. Okay, is this what I have? This is what I have. That's what I have with the I2C ports and all that? Yep, sure is. Okay, do you see a button on there? Isn't that a... No, that's not a button. That's like a voltage regulator. I think that the Racer SAR, it's not strong enough to handle what you're doing to it. It's just my opinion. Not enough amps. But I'm not putting... In the Racer STAR, I'm not putting the... like the lights are being powered directly from the ESC, for example. I mean, I'm not arguing with you, Robert. I'm just trying to make excuses, I guess. Video cam, don't use 5 volt. Okay, we're not using the 5 volt. Let me make that clear. There are no 5 volt pins. Oh, well, the VTX has a 5 volt pin. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Do not use. Uh-oh. Why are the pins on there if you're not supposed to use them? Minimum 1 amp. That was wired directly to the battery. Okay, here we go. All the pins in this group support the standard RC servo protocol. Voltage pulses 1 to 2 mega, 1000 to 2000. Oh, pulses of. The central pins of these connectors are interconnected. Okay, 5 volt. This is the input channel that will be used to trigger the shooting burst. 3 different rate states are managed by the system. Oh no, how am I going to set these pulses? I'm going to have to learn. Oh, here it tells you right here. OpenTX. I guess I don't understand what this is telling me. Isn't your cam plugged into the flight controller? Yes. So yes, the flight controller is powering the cameras. And the flight controller is powering the radio, that extra radio. Yeah, you're right. It is on that Flirkin. It's powering a lot of crap. Maybe you're right. I should have powered all that stuff separately. Shit. I'll try that on the second one, okay? I will, okay. I'll try that on the second one. Okay, so here's what I got to learn. Right here. Right here's what I got to learn to understand. This input channel, this is the input channel that we use to trigger the shooting burst. Okay, that part I understand. 3 different states are managed by the system. 3 states, I can understand that. The question is what does this mean? Trig less than -40. Is that a setting I can set in OpenTX? How do I, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to search the YouTubes and see if somebody smarter than me has done this already. Do not connect any load to this pad since the controller board might be damaged by external connections. Components. Sounds like the Racer STAR Nano, huh? Oh, so yeah, you're probably right, Robert. And now I gotta, that means that Flurkin could have been fixed. Okay, here's the HC12. Now, am I supposed to power that? That's an external component. What is this thing? Starting from firmware release 2.4.1, here can be connected to special EFX expansion board. Did we see what firmware version we had? Oh crap, gotta look at the OSD again. We still have time. We're gonna turn the VTX back on. That's getting powered up. The video receivers so that we can look at it on screen. Okay. We're back to me here. Hi, I'm over here. And then we're going to, on deck, we're going to get the VTX, which is what? Number 8. One of these days I'm going to remember that. Okay, let's plug in the battery again, you guys. Let's see what we got. You guys being Robert. Glad you're here, Robert. You've saved me like 20,000 times. Okay, are we ready? Oh, switching. Let's see if we can see what version we got here. Remote controller setup. Press button again to save. Press button, menu. So maybe we have to program a menu setting? I wish I could get to that screen that we had with the... Okay, let's plug it into the computer. That seemed to have changed things. So if we plug it into the computer... Does this have a USB? How do you update the firmware on this sucker? I don't think you can. It doesn't have a USB port on it. On the FPV Combat board I'm talking about. Okay, here we go. We're plugging it into the computer first, into iNav. So let's get that on screen. Oh, we're not on that screen. We're on my screen. We're on this cam. Okay, here we go. And we'll connect to it. And then we are going to now plug in the battery and see. Let's switch to the VTX. No, still the same menu thing. And definitely can't get any...
Welcome to OpenTX. Switch warning. Manual mode. Why, thank you.
No trigger. Okay. But we definitely know that's working. So, okay, press button. We have no button. Gonna have to read further. Oh, I know. Oh my God, this battery is so hard to disconnect. Holy smokes. Disconnect from here. What are we going to do, folks, while the grass grows? I'm going to have to read the documentation. It's just more, that's what I'm going to have to do. There's no way about it. So I think that I should have left myself 10 minutes. I am not going to try to solder on the power wires. I hope I get to work on this stuff before next week. Okay, let's go back to our, oh, we have it in an Acrobat window. Oh, we can look at it here. So we can't see what firmware version. Main menu, menu tree. Okay, so let's go to section 4, menu tree. That should tell us maybe how to do it. And maybe because we don't have our trigger set up right. definitely going to have to read through this more intensely. I'd like to make some of my own sensor boards. These things got to be just these little modules. Just got to be those things on AliExpress. There's just like 20 different kinds, so I'd like to find out which one to get. Okay, there's a min-max section. I looked at this. Okay. This is the, oh. Are we done with that now? Micro version. Oh no. Where's section 4? 4. Menu. Okay. After you install the system, you can start setting up your combat board. Your platform with the combat board installed and at least one sensor connected. An IR remote of your choice. Oh, an IR remote, which I have in this box. I had in this box. Dum dum, where did I put it? I bet you I put it over here with my IR remote project. Hold on. Here's one. All right, we're going to do this, you guys. We've got a few minutes left. What's the worst I can do, right? Screw it totally up is what I can do. Getting started. IR remote of your choice, a power source for your vehicle, your FPV goggles or external display to see the information. Power up your board while constantly pressing one of your IR remote buttons. It does not matter. Pointing it to one of the IR sensors on the board. If buzzer if connected will start beeping multiple times and the board's OSD will show remote control setup. So something must be feeding that some IR, because it's doing that already. Okay. Press the button. Oh, the menu button. Okay. We're going to have to pick a better remote. Okay. Where's my drawer of remotes? Oh, it's probably out in the garage. All right, we'll just do this one. Okay, so I'm going to have to make some notes here. Let's work fast. Now I was going to be able to fill up the time. Now we're going to go overtime a minute or two, because I'm going to get this programmed, right? Power up your board. Okay, so let's just do this. We don't need the... Oh, let's disconnect from USB. Disconnect from USB. Let's put the VTX on. That's number 8. Let's plug this thing. Let's just see if it does it.
Telemetry lost.
Let's just see if it does it. What we get. Remote control setup. Press button. Menu. So menu is going to be... Shit, where's my pen? Menu's going to be G. Menu. I'm going to press the G button. G. IR code. See, that worked. Okay, let's go back to the instructions. Power up your board. Remote control setup. Press the button that you want to assign to the specified function. The raw code will be displayed. Confirm the desired button by pressing it one more time. Okay, IR code. So that is menu as G. So then, and that was F, 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 F. And then we're doing FO81. Is that what that says? FO81. I'm going to read your comment in a second here. FO81. And we'll make that the green button. Green button. Okay, let's press that. That's... Oh, that was the IR code. Oh, shit. Do you want to... Okay, I'm screwing this up. That's the IR code D104. Let me see if it changes one more time. Okay. So that is definitely, I set that. Okay, so now I'm setting the up function. Up function, that makes more sense. Up function is going to be green button. BTN. That's going to be up. That's FFFF. Okay, FFFF. Press it again. Nope. Look at that. It changes every time. Oh, no, it didn't. Interesting. Maybe it has two settings. Okay, down is going to be the light blue button. LTBLU. That's FFFF again. Oh no. Oh no. This remote is no good for this functionality. Oh dear. We're going to not save. We got to find a different remote. And it's 9:57. Gosh darn it. Okay, so now I've learned some things here about what I need to do. I need to figure out and get the proper remote. I need to figure out and get the proper remote for that. So the next time, oh my God, I got to get these planes done. I don't know what's going to happen the next time, to be honest, because I can't plan that far ahead right now. My life is so chaotic with work. Work is going to get so much better. My new guy has started. He's awesome so far. And within a few weeks, it won't be that much different, but it'll at least be so that I can do my regular job, which is going to make my life so much easier. Okay, I'm babbling. Let me read what you said. Heat up end of smoke stopper a bit and put in a male when it's hot and move it side to side and up and down as you plug it in to loosen up. Oh. Robert, as usual, that is a good idea to give it a little bit of play. I think we'll try that if I can remember to get that done. So, okay, so the next time we are going to get a proper remote and not this little funky LED remote that seems to send different signals from the same button. Now that I understand what's going to happen here, thanks to the documentation, we need to program several buttons as it says here. Just a tangent here. We need to do these things under step 5. Repeat steps 3 and 4. Assign all the buttons. We're going to assign all the buttons. And the OK button is the one that's going to do the OK saving. So you can't even save to the end anyway. Then you can navigate the menu. Excellent. Okay, we'll get there, folks. So, Robert, I think you're the only one left. Bugs FPV, thanks for watching if you're still here. Fan of the month. I'm glad. No, Robert, I'm your fan of the month because you've saved me like 3 times today already. So thank you. Thanks for watching. I'm looking at because I got to find the right buttons to push here. And we'll see you next week. I hope to have my stream scheduled before the day of the stream. Thanks for watching, everyone.